Hello and welcome back to our masterclass of Dirko Badler. Today I would like to introduce you our class 173 with a special part set of 550-2. This part set is for a special application of attaching endless zipper to left fly. Before we start with this special application, I would like to introduce you the machine head. The machine head we are offering in two different versions. The first one is the class 173, 14, 16, 10. I will explain you now what these figures means. 1 stands for double chain stitch sewing head. 7 stands for flatbed machine and 3 stands for bottom in combination with puller feet system on the machine. So then in the subclass, the main important thing what you see here is the last two figures. The 10 stands for no automatic function on this sewing head. What does it mean? No foot lift, no back tack or stitch condensing, and no thread trimming system. As an option, you can get a pneumatic foot lift on the machine in case you need it for the application. Due to no automatic functions, the machine is equipped with the DAC Eco Control. So the machine is stitching 6,000 stitches per minute and it is suitable for light to medium weight materials. The machine is able to be converted in a twin needle machine. So in case you want to have a double stitching machine, double stitching applications, you could use the machine as a twin needle version. The second subclass we are offering here is the 173, 14, 16, 21. So the first part of the machine class here is the same. That means 1 stands for double chain stitch. The 3 stands for bottom and puller feet, and the 21 stands for the automatic functions, electropneumatic thread trimmer, foot lift, and stitch condensing. For these 3 automatic functions, we require on the machine the DAC Classic control. 6,000 stitches is the same and suitable for light to medium weight material in combination with the convertibility of a twin needle in case required. Now let me explain you the special feature of the puller. So if we talk about the 173 sewing machine head, we are using puller feet. So, and the puller has special features compared to other machines in the market, compared to other systems in the market. We are acting directly on the seam and not reacting. So reacting means reaction is always too late. So what we do is, while the needle is inside the material, we are using an intermittent puller, and that means the puller is working like cluck, cluck, cluck. So it's not working continuously. It's not continuously pulling on the fabric. And that means we are having a much flatter sewing result, because while the needle is inside the material, the puller will not pull the material. Only if the needle is getting out the material, it makes the next stitch length with a puller. So that means we have this special puller which has an extremely close position behind the needle. That here we have the needle, here is the puller, and we are working in a distance of 28.5 millimeter needle, a distance from the needle to the puller. Then we have the intermittent working puller, the same what I explained. So while the needle is inside the material, the puller is doing 1 stitch length. When the needle is outside, it's doing the next. So inside the needle is inside the material, no action, no pulling of puller is activated, only when the needle is outside. So we do get much less puckering in the seam. So, and then we are using a special shaped presser foot to bring the puller as close as possible to the needle. So that means we are using this shaped sewing foot, and that allows us to come very, very close to the needle to act on the stitching and no reaction. Now coming to the special application of attaching the endless zipper to the fly piece. I have a nice video for you. Okay, so this is our machine head 173 with the special equipment 550-22 for attaching endless zipper to fly. The machine is actually equipped with a holder for the endless zipper from the roll. This is important. We have a tape unwinder on the machine which pulls my zipper frequently from the roll, and then we are attaching the endless zipper to the fly piece, as you can see it here. Operator is loading one piece, stitch it and feed the next one. So from the bottom you can see here an additional tape. This is a reinforcement tape to stabilize the fly section. This is the tape unwinder, so that means we make sure that the tape is pulled always stressless and stitched and attached stressless to the fly. Okay, so what does this mean? First of all, I have a trouser here for an example. So this is my trouser fly. So, and if I talk about attaching the endless zipper, I do find this seam, this application here inside the left fly piece. For trousers, for men's trousers, the left fly, for ladies' trousers could be the right fly. Important is that we use the zipper from the roll. So we are talking about this seam here. The application on the fly would look like this one. So I have attached here my zipper to the fly. In this case, I have attached it flat to the fly piece. And from the bottom, I have the reinforcement tape, which is simultaneously feeded while stitching. So whenever I want to stitch the zipper flat to the fly, I stitch it on the machine with a setting of flat stitching. If I need a little fullness in the zipper, I have the possibility to increase the power, the pulling of the puller a little bit, and then I get a little fullness in the zipper. What for I would need it? In case the zipper has a higher shrinking value. So that means I have to put fullness in the zipper to make sure that while ironing, the shrinking process is that much that I afterwards get a flat zipper here. In case I have a very high percentage of shrinking process, I have to pre-shrink the zipper, or I use a different sewing head here where I can have much fullness in the zipper. I will explain this later too. So coming to the part set of 550-22. So this part set contains the tape holder for the endless zipper. That means this is described here with number 1. Then we have the tape unwinder. This is actually a pulling device which pulls my zipper from the roll to have it stressless, to be able to stitch it stressless on the fly. Then we do have guides for the zipper, which are these ones here and these ones, to guide the zipper on the right position. And then we have the tape holder for reinforcement tape. This is not visible here on the machine, but it is below the tabletop. It's a holder for the reinforcement tape, and we have a special belt guide which is integrated in the machine arm. You can see it here for the reinforcement tape. So the zipper is stitched endlessly. That means we are stitching one by one by one, and at the end I have to cut the zipper or to separate the zippers afterwards with a scissor manually. So the reinforcement tape. The reinforcement tape here is attached only in the area of the seam. I will show it again. Instead of fusing the whole fly piece, I am attaching it only in the area of my seam. Advantage of this system is I don't need so much material of fusing for the fly piece. I don't need to cut it. I don't need to fuse the fly piece. So that means I have 3 applications or 3 times material saving or money saving applications. Because here with our machine we are attaching the tape simultaneously. The tape is quite cheap. We are fixing the seam only in the area where it is required. And advantage, the touch of the fly is still soft. So it's not so stiff as if you fuse this area. So that could be maybe an interesting application to change in your production. So you save 3 applications, you save money in the material, plus you have a softer touch for the fly section. So if I want to configure the machine, that means I have to choose the following thing. I have to choose the class 173, 14, 16, 10 without automatic functions because I am working in a chain and thread trimmer, stitch condensing not required here. The only thing what I would need is the foot lifting. Foot lifting is something which could be interesting in case you prefer to lift the foot by loading the material. Then we would need a sewing equipment with 5mm needle distance on the machine, and we need a set of parts for converting the single needle into a twin needle machine. Why we use a twin needle? Because you see it here on the fly again, we are using 2 seams to have it nice flat stitched. So even a folding of the zipper would not be possible. So twin needle is required. Then you would add the part set of 550-2 for attaching the zipper to the fly piece, a normal stand set with tabletop, and in case you would like to get it assembled from Dr. Bartler, the assembly costs. As I mentioned, in case your zipper is shrinking a lot and the normal little fullness what you can add here on the 173 class is not sufficient and you need much more fullness to make sure that the shrinking process is covered by the fullness you are adding. We are offering a different subclass, which is a 175, 14, 16, 21. This would be a class with a differential foot top feed, where you can have a lot of fullness in your zipper. You can convert it also in a twin needle machine, and you would cover the process of maybe the problem of shrinking process. So that was the theoretical part of my presentation for the 550-2, and now I would like to show you the machine in practical. So let me explain you about the sewing head first. So this is my sewing head 173, chain stitch sewing head, flatbed with puller feet and in combination with bottom feet. So that means the puller feet is this one here, and the specialty here is the puller is very close to the needle. From the middle of the puller to the needle we have 28.5 millimeter distance, so the closest distance you can find in the market ever. Beside this, the puller is working intermittent, and this means I do have here on the machine an adjustment for the puller speed. That means for the puller stitch length actually. So that means if I adjust my puller stitch length here 2.5 and my normal stitch length 2.5, the puller and will pull in the same stitch length like the bottom feet. So that means we will have here a nice flat sewing result. If I change the speed of the puller to more or less, I get maybe a little fullness in the zipper. So I will show this now to you. So I am attaching now the zipper to the fly, and the puller is working, you can see it, intermittent. Means he makes like click, 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 click. The stitch length I have adjusted. If I change now my puller, I will increase it now to, let's say, 4 millimeter each stitch length. You will see what will happen. It will pull much more, and you will have more fullness in the zipper. You see it here, fullness in the zipper, flat. So depending of how much my zipper is shrinking, I have to increase or decrease my fullness. Good. So now coming to the twin needle. So the machine is equipped here with 2 needle, 5 millimeter needle distance for stitching, for attaching the zipper with 2 needle, nice flat on the fly piece. Then we do have from the bottom the reinforcement tape. This reinforcement tape will be attached flat from the bottom, only in the area of the seam, again to keep the touch of my fly soft, to save the application of cutting one fusing tape, to fuse the fly, so I save the material plus 2 operations for preparation of this fly piece. So this application is much cheaper, much faster, and comfortable to stitch. So the operator will work in a chain. That means if one fly is stitched, the next is loaded and will be stitched directly afterwards. The flies will be cutted manually with a scissor afterwards. So we are working in a chain, and this needs to be cut afterwards manually. The machine is also equipped with this tape unwinder. The tape unwinder is very simple in function, so that means as soon as the tape or the zipper is getting under tension, the tape unwinder will pre-pull the tape or the zipper to make sure that we can attach the zipper tension-free on the fly. The reinforcement tape, which you will see here, the guide is assembled into the base plate of the machine to have here a nice flat area to make sure that we are loading the fly piece flat without any fullness or any interruption in guiding the material. On the bottom side of the machine table, we have a tape holder for this reinforcement tape, so it will be fed automatically and simultaneously while we are stitching. Good, so this is our class 173 with a special part set of 550 I hope you like the presentation and looking forward to see you at our next presentation. Thank you very much and have a nice day.